here. I don't wanna look like this. Fuck, I don't wanna feel like this. Fuck, wish I didn't miss her so much. Knew that this would happen. Fuck, love. Knew that this would happen. Fuck, love. Choke me like you hate me, but you love me low-key. Wanna date me when you fuck me. Touch me with the lights off and my chains on. Baby, I'm not the right one, you should wait on. She a freak, little bad hoe. Gasper told me kill it, I said let me grab my death note. She put me in like a lasso.
Alright, let's get back into this then, shall we?
Ain't no daddy issues that I won't even bother. She say I kill a cat like I'm Luca Magnotta.
Just make sure the C case all set up and running. And there you can focus, can hear me as you all should. Let me know if the music's too loud or if I'm too quiet or whatnot. Been a while. We should be ready here at least. Drop the music down way low. Shouldn't be able to hear too much of it, but you should be able to hear me. Let me move that. It probably would hurt quite a bit, if I were to guess. Like start with some landscapes moving. Little clean up right here. Spread out these little thing real fast. Yeah, the such setups were done a good while ago by now, really. Oh, sick. What are you making noise for? No? None? Alright. So let's see. I got a bit of a hill to dress up here. Path leading up to that area, and the road all the way over to Isekwa to kind of clean up and wrap up more or less. Oh, very fast. Essential fixes. Is that? They were. Oh, cool. Didn't know that.
Wicked, evil, vile.
fair bit bigger than Fallout 4's map. That song sucked. Favorite vanilla location in Fallout 4? Ooh. In general, Far Harbor is quite easily my favorite locale. I don't think I can pinpoint a specific location, though. That's a bit hard. Okay, quick question from YouTube over here then. Regarding the mod's completion, we don't really comment on how far we are. We don't want to really give out any promises or like direct like refs to where we are because things always change and we're a volunteer team. Things go up and down, things go down. Yeah. And as far as NCR related mods or mods in general, we will by default recommend don't use any mods because most likely they won't be compatible from the get-go. Pretty much every mod will need a patch of some sort, unless it's just a retexture or something. But even then, there might be instances where we have retextured a vanilla object or something, and a retexture on top of that would take away something that we created that we felt we needed to incorporate. I like Nuka World as far as story and like what to do there. Fit my personal like little character I play better. But I mean, it's great level design. It always is with Bethesda. I don't know. For me, Bar Harbor kind of just had some more feel to it, so to say. I love the idea of a theme park. I just preferred Far Harbor. Let's see. I couldn't tell you, Void. I haven't played Fallout 4 in a long time. Pretty much since the release of Nuka World. And I never really liked the legendary system at all. Or I really disliked it for the film. Unique weapons, all for that, but the whole legendary, all of a sudden this pin roll is nuclear? No. It's a rock thingy. Hey, well, small little baby trees with massive. What was it? Oh, hold on. I think I had something in the background there. Was that a loaf I heard? Pretty quietly. I think so, yeah.
Sorry for no push this week, bud. Please don't get mad at me.
Too late. And welcome to stream, pendejo.
What'd you say?
Welcome to stream, I said.
Oh, welcome to stream. Are you streaming right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm no longer in the community Discord because I kept on getting pings from it.
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, that's why you're not getting mad at me. Is it's not good PR if you're bitching at people in Discord.
Nah, I can picture you in a way, don't worry.
I see. Okay.
Can I get a park champ in the chat?
Yeah.
Poggers.
I mean, I've kind of tried Sable. The problem is, the closer you can come is usually just the easiest way is just have no music at all. That's the absolute easiest way to not get pulled down. Because
No,
even
you can use pretzel.
yeah, but that's usually just worse than nothing.
I guess I could cover that. I had a plan at one point where I was going to listen to my own music on my earbuds, but somehow play pretzel through the stream,
Yeah.
which might be quite nice. But I don't know how engaging that is.
Which Bethesda game or DLC do you think has the best level design, including New Vegas? Well, I mean, yeah, ain't none of the New Vegas ones. Obsidian ain't the strong suit for level design. But as far as the DLCs, assuming just going on the DLCs and not the main game, it would probably land on Point Lookout for me. I know it wasn't a, or I know a lot of people didn't love the DLC too much, but they really hit home with like the environment of that place. And I think a lot of people would be a bit surprised if they got an overhead map of Point Lookout and realized how actually small the playable space is. Because they did some fantastic things with making it feel far bigger than it is. If we're talking actual like proper full games in 76, they keep improving. I like the environment and like the setting of Fallout 3 the best, I think. I always felt that Fallout 4 was a bit too cheerful and a bit too full of colour and happiness for a Fallout game, whilst Fallout 3 really hit the nail on that quite well. Will Power Armor work the same way as it currently does, working more like of a vehicle? It'll be pretty much the same. We'll be doing some rebalancing and whatnot for Power Armor, but mechanically, how you utilize it, it'll be mostly the same. Let's go with some Beyond the Sky music in the background. They usually don't get too angry. So the game is based in Seattle. How far geographically does it go east side to come Everett? Snoqualmie Falls would be the most eastern point. South, pretty much real life Kent, and then north. What's the place? The big old lake up in north. We go a bit beyond that, but not too much after that. It's like Evergreen Lake, something green. Yeah, King County, pretty much. Yeah, thank you. Well, thanks. My brain ain't fully switched on yet. So we have new types / skins of Power Armor. Yep, new types and some new skins. What is the best and worst part of level designing? Ooh. This one I'll extend to the rest of the boys here as well, because I think this will be interesting to hear. Oh, yes. For me, the best part is definitely when you have a concept like really early laid out, and then just being able to sit down and crunch through that concept and actually see it end up being exactly kind of what you had envisioned. And I think the worst is when you get a really big acclaim where the work isn't as grand in its like detail. Something like this where I'm working on right now is one of the worst things for me level design wise because you can spend a good few hours and you won't notice it for another 200 pretty much. Because I mean, yeah, this road getting a bit cleaned up, it's nice, but it's not one of those. Whoa, look at what my last few hours gone in me. It's not until like you've done this for 3 days in a row when you actually start to notice some proper difference. Because now the area starts to really feel like it's complete. I want to hear Viggy's on this one.
I forgot what the question was.
What's the best and worst part of
The
level
worst
design?
part of level design. I read it. Mm. Yeah, I think the worst part is when you don't really see any progress. But like when you do stuff that you have to do. Uh, but ain't no work.
Yeah, you mean like when doing big landscaping passes and such, big, right?
Yeah. Or
It's
when
the same.
or when you're experimenting around with like kit bashing something and you spend hours and then you figure out you could have done it in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are probably the biggest things for me at least.
Same like when you spend a lot of time on something and then like you're really happy with it, then 2 days later you come back, you're like, no,
This looks
God,
like shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is the worst thing I've ever done. Like, nope.
It's different with every level designer. That's another thing is we all have fairly diverse backgrounds of what we like doing in the creation kit at the end of the day, and I think everyone has a different experience of what sucks and what's fun. You know, because some people like doing a lot of the boring shit that other people don't like, and what I call boring shit might be something really fun for somebody else. And
But, you know, I do agree with August here. Like his problem with level design or exterior level design is mostly that when done right, no one mentions it at all.
yeah,
Because I mean, it's one
oh
thing
yeah,
when you pull off a exterior world properly, it looks good. But then if you're given the same like a big grandiose interior, people will notice that instantly because it's more confined and
hmm
just like, oh, this is a really cool. I mean, you don't stop and say that about like a little valley road because just
no.
no.
Someone spent days or even weeks working on something like that just for the player to walk past it in a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's strenuous on mod developers is this is done in our free time versus someone that gets paid to do the boring shit. It's a little more strenuous.
Imagine if you got paid $10 an hour for how long you've been in the sea. Oh god, yeah. Be a nice little payback.
Yeah, if we got paid to do this, I'd be doing it more consistently.
Let's do it. How would you rank BGS games all the time from best to worst? Uh, that's a really tricky one since they have such a broad span between the games. So, like, of course, real far down on the list as far as the visual level design comes would be something like Oblivion, Fallout 3, Morrowind. At the same time, I mean, looking back at what you could do in games in those days, they were very limited. As far as overall design, though, and like capturing the feel of the world, looking aside like small visual cues, but just limiting by the time, I think Oblivion would be quite high up there for me personally. I really like that. Same with Fallout 3. I think they really captured the perfect Fallout environment. Skyrim, they pulled off a lot of cool tricks. Um, Oblivion beats it still for me. I don't speak Russian. Sorry. Pretty much no cookty. But, no. What's nice? Nasty gravel. So, Viggy and what are you boys up to? Assuming you're
You
both
can see what I'm up to.
too good to answer me. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're building a little river. Wow,
Yes.
very nice. You're the gardener
Could
now.
have said that, but
Yeah, no, you just prefer to be a bit snarky, didn't you?
what the fuck did you? Okay, I'm at Mercer Island now. What the fuck?
Yeah, Sarah. Hey, I'll pull you there every time.
Okay. That's why it almost crashed on me.
That's why you save.
Yeah.
What are your expectations to Starfield? What guys would you? Starfield is one of those I'm very unsure. It definitely will be cool to see Bethesda Studios attempt and take on what a space game could be. I still think it might be a bit too early to kind of set expectations. Not so much because I don't think they can do it. It's more so I still have very little clue, even what sort of space game it will be, so to say. I don't know if I should go in expecting something like the Star Wars games or more akin to No Man's Sky or whatnot. I'm curious and I really want to see what they have cooking there. Um, and I mean, from a modest standpoint, I only really hope for that this new animation engine they're working on that it pays out properly, because it would be very nice to get a bit of an upgrade there. There's nothing too wrong with Havoc. I think they could do a lot of good by re-implementing everything and doing it properly nowadays, since the current implementation is quite old and a bit patchworky, has to be. Yeah, and even then, like, I'm not too sure on those leaks. It's one of those, like, we've seen 3 pictures. It's supposedly Starfield. And I mean, even if they are Starfield, then they're most likely extremely old pictures of Starfield. Which is like, yeah. I'm just curious to see what it'll be. Because, I mean, kind of like Skyrim in space, so to say. It will be cool, but I'm cautiously curious how they will maintain the Bethesda level of detail in something possibly very grand. And I mean, we've seen them be able to pull it off. And I mean, with the 76, for example, the world is quite massive, really. It's a very grand world space. And it still carries that trademark Bethesda quality and feel in the detailing. Like, disregarding your opinion of the game and its gameplay, it still carries the trademark Bethesda design and style of the world. And if we could end up with a space game that manages to maintain that, well, I'd be excited. Be really excited, really. I was going through the Full of Fun in Vegas videos on the channel, and first video of the post was a working vending machine. Nothing like that we plan to implement. It's one of those. It's a neat feature, but we're quite happy with what we have as far as vending machine goes. We're happy with the visual design, and it's one of those, like, it's a lot of work to make something animated when there's really no proper payout. Because it's not one of those features that will be anything more than, neat from a player perspective. At least not, like, I wouldn't be all too excited about a vending machine shitting out a drink for me. I'm quite content with taking it out of the inventory of the machine. And I'd rather just spend our time focusing on more enriching features than like a vending machine. It's a cool thing, but not too hopped up on it. No, Lucy, that's only you. It's only you being that crazy. The weird level sign. Is there? No, there is, yeah. What is your or actually? Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord. Is Cascadia going to use Full of Force weaponry? Is it going to be only new? It'll be a mix of the Full of Force weaponry and a lot of new ones. And we'll be taking out a few Full of Force weapons and then just stacking on new ones. Because I get that a lot of people are a bit disappointed with the weapons in Full of Full, specifically a few of them. But for all in all, there's a lot of good weapons in there, which there's really no point in replacing. Doing ourselves a disservice by removing too many weapons, really. Okay. And the bad part about it is that assets in Fallout work much like Legos. There are infinite ways to arrange them, but in the end, you're always playing with the same blocks, and that can get boring. A little bit, yeah, a little bit. What is your inspiration for level design like this? Are you basing it off Google Maps, or just taking general map and bringing it into full? A little bit of both. We've taken a good amount of liberties in designing the world to make it firstly fit our needs a bit more. And then also, since we do have a very branched up timeline for the Fallout universe compared to our real world, we've been able to do a lot of those quite justifiably. But then also, like on top of that, we have to take into account that we are a few hundred years into the future from our point of view. And with that, you will see a lot of changes in terrain. Just, I mean, a normal river flowing on its own will change a bit over time, such as that. And then we'll also take into account that we had a few volcanoes, some whole nuclear war, and probably some less great natural events past the nuclear war thing, like nuclear winter and crap like that. But of course, at time we do absolutely bring in just the real life location and just look at it. Will Cascada feature the settlement system? If yes, to what extent? Not as it is. No. We'll be trimming it down quite heavily to more so be just for your character and allowing you to build a personal base of operations if you so choose. Kind of like home plate in Diamond City. That'll be most of the extent of what you can do with the settlement system. In Fallout 4, it made sense that you could build proper settlements and like bring people in to live there because there wasn't something too established for people to already move into. But as far as our world stretches, it wouldn't make sense in the lore perspective that people would just crawl out of whatever home they have to go live in your dirt shacks. They already have like homes, they're settled. The great problems for these people aren't your basic water access or not getting shut up by raiders every night. But we will leave it there and leave a few plans for people to play around and whatnot, but it's not going to play a part in the story, nor is it going to be a very helpful thing for you as a player. As far as like managing resources and whatnot. Yeah, I played a lot of Among Us, Killer. How has production been going for the past few months? It's been a bit slow. I was out of commission for a while. But we're getting back to it. We're picking up. And I think in general, we have a lot of people busy now just with trying to get back to normal from COVID and lockdowns going up and down all over the world. And it's been busy lately. But we usually see this time of year anyway. So for us, it's no real oddity. We usually see that October and September are our real slow months on the team. It's quite consistent with what we've seen the last few years. Oh yeah, Isaac Wine doing too good. Now, why is this church all funky wonky? Oh, it's just weird shadow. Okay. I'm gonna say that looks like an odd just one. Okay.
What the hell?
Yeah, that was an odd one. Right now I'm patching up the road between Issaquah and this lovely swamp pit here and Vicky, what's the place with the Kraviga dealership? May Creek? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just patched up the road between these two locations. Done a fast little pass on it. Don't really have too much of a game plan today for what I'm gonna work on. Didn't really plan on streaming either, but yeah, figured it might as well. Yeah, and if you, like it does make sense that it's flooded, and it's one of those. It's a quite easy way to make a location feel very different by doing or having to do very little work. It's a very easy cheap out, if you so will, from our side. Because like we built a town as we would build a normal one, by raising the water level up a bit, it gives a very different feel to the location. We dress it up a little bit in swamp trees, and all of a sudden we've created a very different environment from what it otherwise would have been. As this is one of those towns with lesser importance to the world, so to say. It did still want to make it feel a bit unique and creative on its own, and flooding it became a very logical reason, especially after reading through some of the cancel law for other games and whatnot. Looks awesome, but just a question: will you have new monsters? Yes, several of them. There's a Wanamingo, there are some floaters, there are some foxes, there are some nasty other crap. There's plenty of crap. The Orclaws are lovely little orca monster things. So yeah, plenty of that. There will be a fox companion, yes. It will be replacing Dogmeat. No centaurs, actually. Since they require a constant flow of FEV, and we didn't really want to just shoehorn in FEV into the region. We wanted to do something a bit more unique with our supermoons than the generic. They're breeding one another in labs. Holy moly, let's kill them all. We decided to just like step away from FEV and try and work with mutants in a similar approach to kind of like how Fallout 1 and 2 handled them, where they were less meter banks to shoot at and more actual parts of the world. So reload. Hope the CK behave soon. Da, da. How did the idea of making Full of Cascadia come up? Why did you guys choose this region specifically? So, Cascadia started prior to me joining the team, our founder Alex. And they are from the region, and they felt just like others, because I came from my own little mini project I wanted to do, that Seattle offered a lot of potential, both in its geographical features, such as the beautiful hills and its quite diverse range of biomes. But also on top of that, like it just there's a lot of history to the town. It has its own a bit unique architecture, and it does have a lot of like atom punk eras, such as Space Needle Monad. It just became a very good match for the locale. The more we kind of just looked into it, and it has some little like more spooky locales we can work with, such as Underground Seattle, for example, and it just made sense. Alongside with it has a few missile silos and so on and so forth. It's attached to the coast. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. What do you think of the other DLC sized mods for Fallout 4 that are in production right now? We work closely with Capital Wasteland and Miami. Um, so we're on good terms with most of them. So, personally, I am most hyped for Capital Wasteland and Miami. Primarily Capital Wasteland because I work a lot with Grill and Turkey, and they're doing some absolutely phenomenal work. I think it'll really love to see all that. And Fallout 3 was the Fallout game that really pulled me into the franchise. So it's very nostalgic as well. Hey, look, new telephone boxes. Gotta nuke the doors though. Right, let's do that actually. Swallow globally. Sarcas phone. Both doors closed. Let's delete those records. Yes. Fix that. Oh, no, that wasn't. There's a little shrub there. Let's do a rock. Do what Biggie hates and just scale down big rocks. Cool, let's move on. Oh, stupid. hate when it does this. Thank you. Kind of changes the rotation axis in the middle of nothing for some reason. There are a reason all the trees are green. Yes. So firstly, the area wasn't hit too hard during the nuclear war, as it is in general a quite high-tech area. They didn't have a lot of defenses set up. It's only really one nuke hit the mainland, which is the one that hit Bellevue and turned that town into a big old hole. And alongside that, it is a spruce environment, and spruce trees are quite hardy in general. And no matter their state, unless they're straight up dead, they'll always kind of stay green. But also, it's a bit further into the future, and we started to kind of just go back a little bit into well, things are actually quite alright, which is kind of what the plot synopsis is based on. That it's not the basic struggles of other worlds in Fallout that oh the trees are all dead and there's no water or food or boo 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 boo. Here it's more so that humans are fucking shit up again. It's not the trees that's the problem or water. They've got that all sorted. Have you heard there's a mod with a Terminator? No. I've not. Nor have I seen the movies. Don't lynch me though, please. Have you seen the movies?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I was hoping you were going to be like, no, you're not Lone Flen. Fuck me in that. Once the mod comes out, will you guys keep updating it, like little bug fixes and stuff? And do you think it'll add a little bit extra of content afterwards? We'll for sure be around for a while with patches and whatnot. As far as post-release content, there are some ideas we have and stuff that would be really cool to do, but no promises in that regard. Right now, we're just focusing on getting this fat fucker over the finish line. Do you ever get super excited? Or okay, let me just if we're gonna have our own DLC, kind of same response there. We have some ideas of things that would be cool to do, but that's nothing we really are planning at all right now. As said, we're trying to get this main thing done, and that alone is a sufficient task for now. Now, do you ever get super excited about using a particular asset someone else on the 3D team is working on? Like a particular prop or object you're waiting for to use on an area? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Right now, the main one would be the final model for the interior of the Space Needle. Because, oh lord, that'll be fun. It's one of those locations that I think I'm hyping up more for myself that it'll just be cool to do than how fun it'll actually be to do. And I think that's mostly because it's one of those, it's such a milestone thing. Like, just getting that in place will make things fall into place so much faster. But I mean, in general, most time we get new 3D assets, it's always, woohoo, toys. It's always lovely. Oh yeah, new assets are always mini Christmas. Another one I'm waiting on is a replacement for the current ambulance we have. The current one was just really fast, knocked together. Never meant to be more than just very temporary. But as things kind of tend to happen, temporary has now been like 2 years. That ugly ambulance is still there. It's just, yeah, wanna be done with that one for now. Soon. Biggie, where does this road go? What is that? What have you done here, Biggie?
Oh, yeah, it goes up here.
Oh, to that little. Okay, I get you.
It's not a very pretty road.
Nope. I mean, I can tell it was made by you. That's why it looks like ours, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, good boy. Did the team ever visit Seattle to get inspiration for level design? I went there, what is it, 3 years ago now? And we have a few people who lives in Seattle and whatnot. I mean, hello, so all of us start somewhere. It's always nice when people pop by. Especially from the other projects. Nice to get a little feel of what's going on around the cruise. Checking a DM. Oh, alright. Hey. Hey, no worries. No worries. Any cool Easter eggs like Rambo or other stuff? I mean, there'll definitely be Easter eggs. As to the specific. You fucking what, mate? What did you say, Lou? What did you say?
I said hello.
Oh, I thought you said no. I'm like, but no.
Yeah,
Are there gonna be Easter eggs? Yeah, there are. No. I'm like, alright. Fuck me. Yep. But yeah, no, there'll be Easter eggs around. People are making them left, right, and center here and there. As for specific ones, I wouldn't be able to say. Like, go in expecting Easter eggs, but I'm going expecting specific ones. I guess would be the best. Are we ever going to see a second trail of Cascadia? It's not something we we have intentions to work on right now. No. We rather just focus on cranking out development because setting aside time for trailers and whatnot, it does take time from the team and for us to just focus on. And yeah, I get it. It's nice to be able to get a bit of an update on what we're working on, but as I said, every time we need to make a trailer, it's about a month of time set aside to only showing off what we're working on. And you usually need a few of the big leads to be involved, working quite frantically on that. We are looking into getting some sort of development vlog out, though, to at least give a bit of an update, but nothing more trailer-like. Let's see. Oh, so his grants are basically going to be like the glowing sea. Will there be some sort of twist that makes it different? It's a big fucking hole. It's radiated. That's the twist. Pretty much. No. But no, it's not going to be all too unique in that way. It's point zero. It's total destruction and chaos. We are trying to tie it in a bit more in a few more ways as far as quest goes to make it feel like a bit more of a unique location, and the level design is very maze-like, or like pyramid layered in a way, but it also serves a few important gameplay elements, pushing you in certain directions and whatnot. So, Lou, what are you doing today then?
Yeah, I'm trying to finish up the farm.
Far.
Yeah.
You ever get your little boat trailer fixed, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much done now.
Cool.
I mean, like, I can toss you the textures in DM if you want to use.
Oh no, I was just curious because I know you were quite annoyed with Substance there for a while. Curious got fixed or not.
I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, this new person who just came in here to voice is Lou, one of our level designers. The Master of Lightning and the Man of Finland. I don't know. What else can I say about Lou?
Yeah, and the slowest fucking level designer to exist.
No, yeah. I know a few who can beat you out there. But I mean, quality over quantity. Don't take that as me saying be as slow as you want, though. Christ. Right. This thing, I'll leave someone actually knows how to do that. Oh, yeah, no. Thanks for stopping by, Hallows. Take care. Come on, Ziggy. It's Morocco. No? Right. Power plant. Nice fence there. Hmm. Jesus. I don't know, I liked Bellevue when I was there. Wasn't too shabby. Bit swampy, but you know. Wasn't too bad. Honestly, I'd rather nuke the hills of Seattle. Fuck me. Caps weren't the same after that. Okay, I see what he did. I see what he did, eh? And screwed up my roads. Good. Those. Let's go grab a little island. hell is this? Big A, you're here. No. Stupid Big A. I'm gonna assume he wants something here. Oh, what? Firewatch Tower, maybe? Screw it, screw it, screw it. Your sound? No, I don't think your sound's broken. Might be the song that's a bit quiet though. Raise it up there a bit for you, sorry. Thanks, Rose. Trying our best over here, at least. Let's see, where's this supposed to go then? Oh, into this one. That'll certainly be interesting. Yep, don't need you. Shoot, shoot, good. Yeah, that'll certainly be interesting. Oh, wrong keyboard. Sorry. I'll be back in a few minutes. Just gonna go grab something to drink. Alright, I'm back. Grab some road chunks. Static one out. Thank you, Russ. Not quite sure to approach that road, honestly. It's gonna be so steep. Isn't it? Let's grab one of those. Start plotting it a little bit, I guess. Not quite, West Virginia, but it's almost heaven. See, I'm not. camera decides to do a 180. Man. That's so weird. Is the world space itself a new one or a duplicate and remade? It's a brand new world space. They're brand new. Super optimized bastards. They're probably the one as it spent the most time by far optimizing and just tweaking. Getting them to be as lush as possible without hitting the performance too badly. I mean, I guess that depends, Perkum, because I mean, you could easily see most of the Earth just by going in like real far up satellite photos. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what you say. Seen. Yeah, because I mean, I've been to a few countries by now, like 30, 40 or so. I mean, as far as places I've actually been seen with my own eyes, yeah, the Earth is winning by far. Let's do some quick little tests here. Start at that angle, right? Let's push it that way. years of level design experience? 10, 15 almost. Probably close to about 10 proficiency. This one the bridge shows up? This one it was. Let's find that little bridge piece. Pretty sure it shows up somewhere. Fuck. I'm not sure how to approach this actually. Unless we just go really, really lazy and just do this. Yeah, here comes the real drama. Jesus. See, that wants to connect. Ah, actually, no. Good brain. Just do that. Hello. That's bridge pays RNA. Figure, you planned this hell ride of a bridge. This is all your fault. Let's get a... It's going alright. I'm trying to fake a bit of a bridge. Maybe. Train, attract, A, rigorous. Like too close at it all. Detract as much as possible from the fact that there is really no. Right. Some look at the water in here as well, which will help quite a lot. Scale it. Oh, stupid. Yeah, it'll have to do. Not quite sure how else to pull this one off. Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, if I want to load this, we'll have a real proper valley here. Thingy. Because he'll kind of impact all the way up until the neighborhood. And that's when we cheat.
I'm going to sleep. It was nice talking to you.
See ya, big guy.
See ya.
Oh, Sam, I wish I could do 3D modeling, but don't usually end up too well for me.
I can.
Yeah, you can. Not everyone's as good as you, Lou. Remember that, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Gotta be humble at times, boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, friend.
I don't think you are. I think you're quite pleased with yourself.
I am. Do you accept my most humble apologies?
A chance. We'll see how the next hockey game goes. After that, we'll talk. Monopoly? We're playing Monopoly, Lou?
What do you mean?
I don't know. The person in chat asked if we were playing Monopoly. I don't know. Been a while
Like,
since the
not
last
at the
play.
moment. No?
Yeah, no. Should we be? Have we missed something? Is it cool to play Monopoly again? Oh, lately I've only been playing bloody Among Us. Fuck that game. Really, fuck that game. So bad at like, oh, I don't know. I don't have a problem with Monopoly. I think it's one of those games. It's very fun for like 2 nights and then nothing for a few months. I think you end up a bit. At least when I play with my friends, went up a bit cutthroat for it to be worth playing for longer times. Oh man, I'm always kind of sus. Go on. But I suck so bad at that game. Like, I always have fucking panic, even when I'm not the imposter. Like, I'm just terrified all the time. We don't comment on completion or percentages or anything like that. As we're a fully volunteer team, everything fluctuates quite heavily, and we don't want to give any sort of like indication of which should be by then, and then have you bastards come up with the bloody guillotines when we're not done in time. Didn't end too well for the French. Ain't gonna end well for us. Of course, the trees speak Vietnamese. I don't know how they doing. I've tried. I can't make rivers. They just do their magic somehow. Let me show you more of a proper. Oh, goodness gracious! I don't know how they pull it off, but somehow they do. They confuse this everlasting shit out of me. I can't make them. I can do the very basic foundations, like just lay down the tile set, but after that I'm lost. It's not my forte. It's been annoying me for weeks now. Oh, we're doing alright. It's the usual slow September and October for us. But it's alright. It's alright. That's a safe assumption, Oscar, yeah. I mean, hey Robo, you ever wanna know more? Come join us. Could always use more capable hands. No, Robo, I meant the team itself. Silly me. I think, like, Nuclear Shadows is one of those. It could be cool, but the question is how long would they have stayed? Seeing as everything would have just been kind of left to its own. Yeah, like Nils is going on. They're like. Will they still even be semi visible, like 5-10 years in? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Viggy and others usually go over and then detail up the streets. Another thing I'm not too fond of. Whilst Hiroshima and Nagasaki are there are examples of it, the question is also is it perchance something that is also thought to preserve by now? And that's only 80 years. This would be like almost 300 years. Shame, Robo. Shame. No clue, actually. Right, the big fucking. Yeah, see, this is the kind of work we were talking about early on, which is one of those hard things to do, and it's kind of demotivating because there's just an endless amount of it, and you don't really see much difference for a long time. Not until you're really just wrapping up a big chunk, you're like, well, actually, it did make a difference. But for quite a big section of it, it just. Eh. Oh yeah, no, I remember, Robert. I remember. Back when NAF was still active. Little hump in the road, sure.
This is the end, you know. Lady, the plans we had went all wrong. We ain't nothing but a fighting, shouting tears.
Summon building won't be part of the story at all. Not whatsoever. And we are nerfing it quite heavily and turning it into non-settlements, more so just build your own. But scrapping the whole people want to come and live with you part. Makes no sense in our story, our world.
This is the end, you know. Lady, the plans we had went all wrong. We ain't nothing but a fighting, shouting tears. We got to a point I can't stand. I've headed to the limit, I can't be your man. I ain't more than a minute away from walking.
yeah, yeah. No, like several buildings most likely still stand. The question is, have they also been entirely left alone, untouched? No human has ever tried to make sure it stands longer. That's the main difference. Like, you need to actually make sure that, or rather, the difference here would be no one would be around to try and make sure that the random houses in Tacoma still stands. What up, Bash? How you doing? Oh, asleep, eh? Poor thing. Oh yeah, no. What I'm saying is, has it also been left entirely alone? Because that would be, then yeah, makes sense. But has it now been left fully alone? Then the comparison doesn't kind of work anymore. When did you over on Roblox last? As we spoke, Ash? Was that something else? Was that someone else, maybe? Oh yeah, yeah. No. Like they're guaranteed buildings still standing. Uh, but if they've also become UNESCO World Heritage, there are efforts making sure that they will remain standing, which is the main difference. Like, had it been left entirely unalone, or entirely alone, unalone, Christ, had it been left entirely alone, probably not. Still, as that is the case with most structures within Fallout. Instead, that no one has really tried to make sure they still stand. People are still trying to just not die. See, Ash. Not much, Jimmy. Not much. Just constantly placing more trees and rocks and shrubs and crap. Well, it's part of level design, as I said earlier. It's this crap where like you don't really see any of the work you've done over the last few hours. So no problem. Thank you. Connect there. Still there as well. To go ahead and push complete. Yeah. I think I'm gonna head into Redmond and do some work. However, that is a locale you cannot follow me to, sadly. Which means this is actually gonna be the end of the stream. Because I got some secret work over there. Alright. But, till then, hope you're all having a wonderful start of November. Take care and see you in Seattle.